And we're down, guys. Oh. I started talking. Okay. Say hello, babies. Hello, everyone. We're here with Rosita's Petite Goldendoodle puppies who are exactly 6 weeks old today. Is it tiring being 6 weeks old? Is it? You gotta fuzz. I gotta get that. Ugh. Yeah, got it. So here we all are. They're doing awesome, guys. Exploring more, playing with toys. Wondering why my puppy Rex is crying in the background. It really honestly depends on the personality of your puppy as to whether or not they do that and have to be with you all the time. Rex just really likes to run this entire place, and so he's really spoiled, obviously, and if I let him run around right now, the puppies are just gonna pay attention to him. So he has to go on a playpen right now when I'm doing this, if he's out here with me. And so yeah, I just usually ignore him. A lot of times I will, comment on him while he's out here with me, but that just encourages them to continue whining because they know that it's working. So if your puppy is in a playpen area and you're in the room, even if you're not in the room and you hear it, just ignore it. Coming back and saying, shh, be quiet, it's okay, that type of thing just encourages them. Any kind of, they don't care if they're getting any positive reinforcement from you. They just want you to come to their aid. And so you have to ignore that. There's a lot of exceptions, and of course I go over that in my training procedures, my crate training procedures. But anyway, so do as I say, don't always do as I do, because I tell them to quiet down here when I'm trying to make a video. Yeah, hi baby. So this is the big week, guys. Temperament testing is coming out to you tonight. And this is your final video before picking. Picking is this Saturday the 9th. And each of you should have received your pickup instructions along with directions for those of you who are coming. I don't give directions to those flying. And that way you guys can plan your trips and you guys can, get ready for the picking. I would say the majority of our owners choose based on the videos. Every once in a while we have somebody who likes to do a FaceTime or a Zoom. So I will ask you guys to let me know that ahead of time, especially Zoom, so I can send you a link. If not, it's not the end of the world. We can do it last minute, but that way we're all set to go. Anyway, but armed with the temperament testing, all the pictures and videos you've had this far, videos are probably easier than a video, which you're fine to do that. Absolutely. I don't want to discourage that. I just want to say, it's even if I put in my earbuds or earpods, it's not always easy for me to hear you. And I think you can usually hear me, but it's not always easy for me to answer your questions. So if you do have a lot of questions, that's something maybe we should talk about on the phone, or you can text me, email me those questions. It's just not always a good question answer time in the middle of a FaceTime or a Zoom puppy picking, because it does get a little more noisy in here. And not just that, but I just can't hear you with especially Zoom for some reason, if you have multiple parties on there. So enough about that. let's go on and look at everybody. Let's look at the guy right here who just wants to be in my lap. This is Black Collar Boy. Yeah, he is really fluffy. Everybody in this litter is a wavy coat. So that ragamuffin look, and you can see the curls are coming more and more each week. This is orange collar. I'm sorry, yellow collar. I was looking at orange. Yellow collar here is a red. And black collar would be considered our kind of creamy mocha look. When I say creamy mocha, it's like you have a cup of coffee with a lot of cream in there. It's not a white. We put him next to the white here. He's not a solid white, but he is what we would consider a cream. Yellow is what we would consider a red. He may lighten up ever so slightly, but will still be in that red. He doesn't have like an undercoating. Then our last and smallest boy is Orange Collar Boy. Hi. He's also a red. Are you trying to poop? Is that what you're trying to do here? I better put you over on the potty pad. Yes. No? Pink is telling me no. Okay. Yes. You're talking to him. Anyway. I'll have to get him and I'll have to replace the potty pad. Anyway, Orange Collar Boy is also a red. And who's in the back over there? Is that Purple? I hear you. I've got my benches back, guys. Or I always had this one, but moved back all of our benches now that we're down to our normal litter size. Here is Dark Pink Collar Girl. Yeah, let's check out the teeth. Can we see the teeth? Look at that. Woo! Woo! We got toothies. Yes, we do. Okay, so Pink Collar Girl, I believe, is going to be more of a peanut butter color. So she's not super dark, but it's what's happening kind of at the tipping here, where I think she's going to be more. And when I say peanut butter, I mean that like a jar of peanut butter color. And are you going to come here, or do I have to go get you? This is Turquoise Collar Girl. Yes, and she's the darkest red of the litter, which is really more of a medium red. Yes. And she's the biggest of the litter. Aren't you? Are you a big girl? Say, I'm a big girl. Yeah. Let's play. All right, I'm going to have to go get Purple. Okay. Had to get Purple. She is the smallest of the girls. And she is just a tad shade darker than the cream boy. She is kind of in between that cream and peanut butter. You can see her next to the white here. So when you put her next to the other reds, she's definitely more of a peanut butter color. Sorry, guys. A little lighter. Yeah, I wasn't looking through the viewfinder there. Anyway, so she's definitely a little smaller than the other girls. Hi. Are you king of the mountain? Yeah. So, right now, Mama's outside playing, and so we're inside playing. They're having more and more awake periods. A little less time with Mama. Being 6 weeks old means we're going to start that. We've been doing the weaning. The weaning process starts with the gruel at 3 weeks old, but it takes us a little longer. We don't like to just cold turkey it, but kind of hanging on too long can be stressful as well. So it kind of depends on, we don't necessarily have a set time that we completely take Mama away. We really kind of look at each individual litter. How is the mama doing? We have some mamas that would battle mastitis if we just did any kind of cold turkey, and we have others that they do better that way. So it depends on how the puppies are doing. Especially like our tiny puppies, we tend to do it take a little more time with it. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna start that process, and what we'll end up doing is letting them go through the night without Mama, and nurse a couple times during the day. Yeah, like in the morning and at night. Are you listening? Yeah. Are you my buddy? Hopefully they'll play around a little more for us. Sorry, I was doing some other things while they were doing some playing. That was my bad. But anyway, so 6 weeks is also when we would traditionally give them their first set of shots. I've been kind of holding that off now to 7 weeks ever since COVID started. And it started with the purpose behind it being that people were unable to get into their vets. And so we wanted them to at least have plenty of time at home and be able to get into their vets when necessary. Now, we might have that issue with some areas, but, depending on what state, what county, where all you're at. But also, the further you are away from the weaning period, then you have the less chance of it not taking. You have puppies that have their mama's antibodies from nursing, and so that fights against the vaccination that you're giving them. And so what we want to do is have it as late as possible, but we need it early enough so that they're protected. Your puppy will have 3 sets of shots. And yes, I know, we don't want to talk about that, do you? No. They'll have 3 sets of shots. They will be getting 1 here, and then 2 weeks after they go home, they'll have another one. And then they'll have their final set of shots around 12, 13 weeks old, depending on the shot that your vet gives them. Our vaccinations have a requirement of 3 weeks in between vaccines. And I mean, a few days before or after, that's no biggie. But depending on the manufacturer's recommendations of the vaccination that your vet gives, it may be 2 or 3 weeks. That final set, the 12 or 13 week, is when you get your rabies vaccine. Whether or not your county requires a 1-year or a 3-year rabies vaccine, you still must have your annual booster 1 year after the first one, because puppies getting it the first year, vets recommend having another one that next year. Then you can move on if your county allows, and I say that because when we were in the process of adopting and getting our home studies, the requirements by our state were that you had to follow your county's requirements, which was a 3-year. I don't like the 1 year. Sorry, guys. It's the same shot. The 3-year and 1 year is the same shot, but our county required one every year. And of course, we had to produce the paperwork for that. So we had a period during our 3 adoptions that we had to do 1 year rabies vaccinations on all of our dogs, whether they needed it or not. Now we're out of that phase, so we can go back to doing the 3-year. And as long as our puppies have had that 1 year revaccination, everybody else gets the 3-year. And like I said, it's the same shot. It's a 3-year. It's just, do you give it once or every 1 year or 3 years? So check with your county if there's any requirements. You want to make sure that you're in compliance, and your vet will know all of that. Unless you're going to a vet out of your county, then you just need to check on that. So, just going to touch on vaccinations, and I don't want to drag that out too much, but they're all paying attention. Look at that. We're all paying attention. Yes. Do you guys want to play while I talk? Do you want to play? Yellow's ready to go down. He's just right here in my lap. Look at that fluffiness. Anyway, vaccinations. Having a puppy, especially a Goldendoodle from Lamgo Farms puppy, that's no time to do we don't want to vaccinate. You are required to give vaccinations to your puppy if you purchase a puppy from us. And the paperwork that you sign states that you are going to do that. There are things out there that will kill your puppy, especially as a little puppy and even as an adult. So you have to vaccinate them, guys. They eat poop. They drink water out of puddles. They go to the bathroom in grass. They play in grass. Those are all places where you're going to have parasites and microorganisms. It's a place where you're going to have diseases contractable through water and feces. So it's not puppies is no time for anti-vaccine situation. You got to vaccinate them. Like I said, whether or not you vaccinate them more often than not, that is something a little more for debate. And I agree that you should not over-vaccinate. So that's one of those things where we definitely need to do a little more research, and that is your prerogative. But you definitely need to go ahead and get those puppy shots. You need to do your annual shots. That second set of shots will have your, not Corona, Bordetella, which is your kennel cough. That is something people often ask me, when is it appropriate to go ahead? Now we're playing. When is it appropriate to get the kennel cough or your second set of shots? Or, I'm mixing up. When is it appropriate to get your puppy bathed at a professional groomer? Usually, a professional groomer will require you to have that Bordetella, that kennel cough shot. So that would be after the second set of shots, preferably 7 to 9 days after the second set of shots. So we definitely want to talk about all of the requirements that are needed. For instance, if you're going to have your dog boarded at a daycare, doggy daycare, certain puppy play places, and definitely groomers, they all require certain shots. So you need to check with that. As far as grooming goes, bathe your puppy when they're dirty. If they're overly stinky. Now, anytime my puppies go outside, or my dogs, or heck, even my kids, when they go outside here on the farm, they smell like dirty dog. And we have sprays in our store. The link is in the description below, but we have some sprays. Vanilla Silk, Coconut Cream, Rainforest. Those are awesome Esprit products, which are natural, wonderful products. And I like to spray our puppies with that, even our adult dogs, and just get them a freshen up. You can, once you spray it, you want to get a cloth and really rub it in or brush it in. Or my favorite is to get a hair dryer and kind of blow dry it in. And that sets in better than just spraying and walking away. But if you're just having regular outdoor dog smell, that's a wonderful thing. Bathing them whenever they're dirty, go for it. Go ahead and bathe them. When they're a puppy, that might have to be once a week. When they get older, our older doodles get groomed every 3 months. And we typically, on most of our dogs, have a short coat. Because we're out here on the farm, I always tell people we have 2 seasons. It seems like dirt and mud. That's why I like a lot of grass. Our dog runs have grass areas, and that helps that, of course, but then they roll around in the cut grass and things like that. So brushing is not a necessary thing with the puppy fluff, but it's something you want to do to get them used to being brushed. Once they get used to being brushed, then you can go ahead and do that constant brushing with them when they're older and not have to worry about them matting. Matting is a thing that's going to happen. Yeah. So I recommend getting shampoo and conditioners that are either 2-in-1, or what I do is after I'm done lathering them up with the shampoo, then I'll go ahead and put some conditioner on and work that in too. A puppy's not going to withstand so much rinsing and repeating all that. So then just one rinse. Conditioner will help keep you from matting severely. You're still going to deal with some matting, but brushing and trimming and using the conditioner, all of that is really going to be beneficial. And this type of coat, this cotton wavy coat, is not as difficult as the thicker fleeces to groom. So just a little thing on grooming there, because those are usually some things people ask. And again, on the vaccinations. So vaccinations given next week means that 2 weeks after they go home, they will need their second set. I will be sending you some reading material after puppy picking that will give you the exact date you need to aim for. Like I said, a few days before or after, no biggie, but those are just some dates you want to aim for to go ahead. And you're just going to sit here, aren't you, to get those vaccinations. Okay, guys, same with deworming. They will have gone through 3 sets of deworming while they're here. And that starts at 2 weeks old. So 2, 4, 6 weeks. And we usually do a 3-day deworming at the very end to kind of carry them over to getting home. But that is something that your vet will always check for. They will be checking their, checking for any kind of parasites. They will do a culture on that to make sure that you are where you need to be. It's a gross thing to talk about, but since puppies eat stuff from outside, since they chew on stuff from outside, since they are dogs, yeah, worms are just a kind of a part of life, which is why we do preventative deworming so that they don't get worms. So your doctor, I mean your vet will always check to see if that is something that needs to be done with your puppy, and they'll have a recommendation what kind. Flea preventative is something that I often forget to talk about, and hopefully you're able to just watch these babies. They're just really interested in the camera and what I'm saying right now. So sorry guys. Hopefully they'll move around a little more for you. You can see Turquoise, she's really into the horse. I would say turquoise and purple are probably our most lively. After that would be black, but black, even though he can be lively, he really likes to be like right up in your face, in your lap. He wants to be with you. Say, I'm your buddy. And you're just a little laid back, chill dude, aren't you? And same with yellow. Say, I pooped, I ate, I pooped, I'm good to go down. Yes. Some people have been looking, let me go back to the flea preventative. Your puppy will go home with an Advantage 2 flea preventative that we will put on their backs probably a day before they go home or the day of, depending on what we're doing. And so you're good for 30 days before you need to get another flea prevention. Now, if you are where it is super cold, where it has been in below freezing temperatures for an extended period of time and fleas are going down in the winter, then you don't need to continue that flea preventative during the winter, but you want to start it up again in the spring. For us, sadly, it never gets cold here for long periods of time. And so fleas, as soon as we start getting above freezing, you can get fleas again. Fleas can cause all kinds of problems, guys. They can cause tapeworms. They can cause other viruses. And so a flea preventative, really, it is the best thing to do. And I know people don't want to do chemicals and they want to put sprays and oils, and that may work for a well manicured yard where your dog never goes anywhere else, and that might actually work. For us, we have multiple animals. We're out here on the farm. Our fields, our gardens, we actually do not do harsh chemicals. We're a little more cautious about that because obviously our horses and cows eat the hay, and we eat our vegetables. So we're really careful about what we do in our gardens. But what that means is I'm not killing any fleas on the ground. So I have to make sure that our dogs are treated. We use the Advantage 2 topical flea preventative for their backs, and that's something you're going to want to continue for until they're about 6 months old, some kind of topical, and then you can move on to one of those chews. I recommend Brevecto. That's going to be in your reading material, so you don't have to worry about it right now. Where you going? Where you going? One thing that will also be noted in your reading material is to avoid trifexis. That's a favorite of some vets. They get a good kickback from that particular company, but our poodle lines are allergic to trifexis. So there has been a couple of fatalities in our lines, and we've had several adverse reactions to it. And it was one of my customers that called me one day in the middle of an allergic reaction, and that's when I even learned about trifexis. Never even knew about it. And of course we wouldn't know until a new product, which trifexis has now been around for a little bit. So it's not necessarily a breed specific thing, but our poodle lines, the majority of our poodle lines are allergic. And we just want to give you that heads up, because it's better to try something that does not have those 3 ingredients in it that can cause a problem. So again, you don't have to worry about writing this down. It'll be in your reading material. But those are just some things that you have to think about. I know we always think about the toys and the bowls and the leashes and collars and bedding and all that kind of stuff, but we really want to be thinking about health and grooming care and things like that. Look at you sitting there. I'm afraid you're going to fall back. Are you going to go down like that? Okay. All right, good. Oh, look at us. Look at us. We're starting the never-ending chew thing. So that brings me to chewing, guys. Chewing is not a bad puppy. It is what they do, especially a Goldendoodle who has a very soft mouth. They need to alleviate their teething pain by chewing. And that's also how they test things out too, is by chewing them. They're going to chew. They're going to have a tendency to do a lot of, you're sliding down, chewing for a good 2 years before you can feel comfortable and confident leaving them running about your house without you home. So lots of toys. Look at you. You just, you are adorable. You are adorable. Yes, you're making me lose my train of thought, dude. Yes, you are. Oh, big yawn. Black collar's thinking about it. He wants to chew on the toys, but yet I'm tired. Turquoise is still hanging in there. Here's our purple girl. She's just going to go to sleep with the toy. Not yet. Not yet. Here's Pinky. Hi, Pinky. Boo-boo. Boo-boo. So, yeah, guys, lots of toys and puppy-proof the house. Be thinking of, get down on this level. And, think of what can they chew. What furniture do you not want them to chew on? And then if you have any questions about that, let me know. We can talk about that. Best way of prevention and how to deal with that. So, this is, I appreciate all the questions that come through. People are always like, oh, I don't want to bother you. No, bother me. I want you to ask questions. I want you to be prepared so you're not surprised. Puppies poop and chew. Yeah. And so they're definitely they're definitely worth it. Can you shake? Are we going to learn to shake? But boy, guys, I really appreciate people who, you want to shake again? Or do you want me to pet? I appreciate people who really do want to get into the details and what to and not to do instead of just fly by the seat of my pants. That's, I prefer that. So nobody is ever bugging me to ask me questions. Look at you. Whoop, focus. Here you are. She's not too sure. Should I go to sleep? I don't know. So in the temperament testing, and we're running long on time, guys. I'm really sorry this is such a long video. I've noticed that a lot of people don't always read the reading material and the things that I send over, like the crate training procedures. My crate training procedures are something that I really would like you to read. That has all those answers to the questions that people usually ask me after they've gone home. And so better to read it ahead of time and be prepared so that you're all ready to go. It's difficult on puppy pick up day when I'm talking to you about all this. Look at, we're going down. And it's hard for me to always remember everything, and it's hard for you to concentrate when you're holding your puppy, and it's so much information at one time. So if you read that ahead of time, you're ready. Look at these eyelashes. Can you see her eyelashes? They're red and they're super long and gorgeous. Yeah. I had someone once, a million years back, ask me about eyelashes. They had a dog that had really long eyelashes and they had to have some sort of procedure done because it was causing issues. I've never actually had that with any of our Goldendoodles, so I'm not familiar with it. So if I show eyelashes like this, I'm always going to get some questions about eyelashes. I am not seeing that as any kind of problem. The hair is going to grow out. The face is going to get bigger. And so we haven't had that kind of issue. Look at us. So this is what they do when they first go home, guys. They're going to have bursts of energy and then they're just going to crash. So we're going to have one more video after picking. And that'll just be kind of a watch them play video, but I might go through some of this stuff about crate training. That's, again, all in your crate training procedures, and I will go over all that with you. But sometimes I think when I do the videos, people listen a little more on that because they're watching their puppy and they can play it over and over again and things might sink in. So I apologize for the length of this video. I usually don't do it that long. Well, I take that back. Some of them have been. Anyway, guys, I'll let you go. Have a great rest of the week, and we will see you guys on Saturday, look, and down she goes. Bye-bye, guys.